Sunday, that still remains to be seen, but he's back practicing with the team. How do you see things going? How does Rea approach this game? Because there's a lot of pressure on Eddie Rea. Some warranted, some not warranted. Where do you align yourself with the whole Rea debate?
Well, I think certainly you can look at some of the substitutions generally that have been made and stuff like that and be critical. I think going forward up front this weekend, I'll be very surprised if we play more than one, as you've already said. And I think that's probably for this game, that's probably warranted. I think we've got to try and stifle them a bit in midfield like we have done with teams so far this season, and try and keep possession. And it's going to be difficult because we haven't got Ledesma and we haven't got Methuselah, two players that can do that. So, I would expect Gonzalez to play a role. And he's been lively. He's been a decent addition. Certainly surpassed a lot of expectations, I think. Hernandez, we're looking for a big game from him. He's gone off the boil recently. So really needs to step up in this game, and he may well be tired, as has been discussed. Hasn't had much of a break, but irregardless, this is the time when you need players to step up. We're going to miss Radu down the left because he started to, everyone was thinking in the summer, no Kolarov, we're not going to get much of an attacking threat down that angle. But Radu has shown in the last, this season, that he's more than capable of providing some attacking impetus going forward. So we're going to miss that. It's going to be hard. As for Rea, I think he's going to get a warm welcome in the Sao Paulo. He's done a lot, did a lot for that club, taking them up from Serie C1.
Yeah, all the way.
All the way up to Serie A. So he's going to get a warm welcome, but come the first whistle, there won't be any friendship on the pitch, I'm sure.
Yeah, the niceties are thrown out the window, that's for sure.
No doubt for 90 minutes it will be. It's going to be a difficult one. As I say, we're missing players that are good in possession against a side like Napoli, who certainly will attack and look to keep the ball. That's going to be difficult. Christian Brocchi could add a lot in this game. We definitely need some sort of warrior in midfield that can help break up their play and lead us forward in that respect.
I think it remains to be seen how the game plays out. Obviously, it's a 90-minute game. The ball is round. But sort of the things is, the 11 players we had put on the field, I have absolute confidence in. It's just when you start picking and you have to kind of jump to the bench to try to pull somebody off the bench. Injuries happen, knock on wood, these things happen. And I just don't know if we have enough manpower this Sunday going into such a hard place. Or how does this game affect us for the games ahead, which are games that, on paper, we should take 3 points against Parma in the games ahead.
We should definitely take 3 points there. And it's Catania up after that as well, which is a difficult place to go, but they're totally reliant on their home form. Not a single away win this year for Catania. It's incredible, but again, games that have to be won, both of them, because there's some tough other games coming up. Inter Milan, Juventus, Udinese, and it's all in the last sort of 7 games after this one. Certainly a hard road for us.
It's kind of coming to a complete boil, but these last 7 games, is this dependent on where you feel Eddie Rea stands with SS Lazio going forward next year? Because it's no secret his contract's up at the end of the year. There's a lot of question marks regarding or revolving around where the next steps are. Rea's already alluded to his disappointment with the treatment of the fans, these sort of things. Can you touch on that in these next 7 games? Is this dependent? Does this dictate where Eddie Rea goes?
Possibly. I think everyone was assuming it was a question of us wanting rid of him, if it was going to be any way around. But now Ray has come out and he said, he's disappointed with the way, he's been received. And all of a sudden you have to think, well, is there the chance that he won't want to stay? I think I read in the press earlier this week, old Lazio player Roberto Rambaldi was saying how, if he doesn't get in the top 4 in the Champions League, that may well not be enough for him to keep his job. I'm not so sure that's the case. I think Lotito will probably would like to renew. I think a 2-year renewal's been offered, according to the press. But I do think a lot depends on certainly the next few games as to the reception Ray is going to get. I think if this is ends in defeat, a lot of pressure is then put on the game against Parma at home in the Olimpico, which hasn't exactly been packed this season, but certainly doesn't mind letting his feelings be known to the players and manager. So, yeah, I think the owners will. I think Lotito will probably stick with Rea. I think if anyone's going to end it, it would be the coach at the moment, the way things stand.
Well, there you have it. Thumbs up from West Sussex, and a good on Rhea for the job he's already done this year. Ed, I want to thank you for giving some great insight, and I always appreciate what you do for us on the North Curve, and hopefully we can continue through these next 7 games and maybe have something to celebrate at the end.
No, I think it's already a season worth looking back on to celebrate. 5th place isn't bad. Derby's aside. Let's see where we go from here. We probably won't be too far away from this position come week 38, which is certainly better than I think most people thought at the beginning of the season.
Absolutely, and if we want to rest on that, thank you very much, Ed. And we hope to hear from you, I guess, in the future episodes of the North Curve. Thanks for taking some time out to talk with us in Forza Lazio, as always.
Forza Lazio, thanks for having me on, Mike.